New York, the Empire State, the city that never sleeps, and the state that constantly surprises. But let's kick this off with a fight starter. Is New York City overrated? Some say it's the greatest city on earth. The energy, the culture, the skyline, unbeatable. Others say it's dirty, loud, dangerous, and way too expensive for what you actually get. So what's your take? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to see who wins this round. And while you're typing that out, smash the subscribe button. Because today, we're diving into 30 facts about New York that are so insane, you'll wonder how one state can hold all this chaos, beauty, and history at once. 1. Bigger than entire countries. Let's start with money. New York State's economy is so massive that if it were its own country, it would rank in the top 15 economies worldwide. That means one state, fueled by Wall Street, tech, agriculture, and tourism, makes more money than entire nations like South Korea, Mexico, or Australia. Wall Street alone pumps trillions through New York daily. Then you add in Broadway, Niagara Falls tourism, Silicon Alley tech, and the endless financial deals that happen here. It's not just America's financial hub, it's the world's. 2. Niagara Falls, nature's water park on steroids. Niagara Falls isn't just gorgeous, it's terrifying. The falls unleash 700,000 gallons of water every second. That's like emptying a swimming pool faster than you can blink. It's so loud you can hear the roar from miles away, and the mist rises like smoke from a fire. And while people get married next to it for the romance, thrill seekers used to ride barrels over the falls. Spoiler, most of them didn't make it. 3. Upstate New York is practically Canada. Most people think New York is just skyscrapers and subways. Wrong. Once you head north of Albany, it feels like a different country. Small towns, farmland, thick forests, and accents that sound more Canadian than American. Fun fact, in some border towns, people casually hop over to Canada for groceries. Imagine living in New York, but buying your milk and maple syrup in Ontario. 4. NYC alone outweighs 38 states. New York City's 8.5 million residents outnumber the populations of 38 entire states. That's right, one city equals the entire state of Arizona, or Colorado, or Oregon. Now add in the metro area. 20 million people. That's basically half of Canada squeezed into one urban sprawl. 5. Adirondacks. Bigger than 3 national parks combined. New York holds a secret. The Adirondack Park is 6 million acres. That's bigger than Yosemite, Yellowstone, and the Grand Canyon combined. Inside, hundreds of lakes, towering peaks, and wilderness so deep you could get lost for weeks. While tourists flock to Manhattan, locals sneak away here to breathe. Quick subscribe reminder. If facts like this make your jaw drop, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. 6. Pizza is a religion. Here. The New York slice isn't just food, it's a way of life. Thin, foldable, greasy perfection. Locals say it's the city's tap water that gives the dough its magic texture. Is that science? Maybe not, but it's the kind of debate New Yorkers will have louder than a playoff game. 7. The subway, a city beneath the city. With 472 stations, the NYC subway is the largest system in the world, and it runs 24/7. You can board a train at 3 a.m. and find people sleeping, performing, and sometimes arguing over nothing. But here's the twist. There are entire abandoned stations underground. Gorgeous architecture with chandeliers and curved glass ceilings, just sitting there, forgotten. The city literally has a ghost subway. 8. Wall Street, smaller than it sounds. Wall Street moves trillions of dollars every day, but the street itself? It's just a few blocks in lower Manhattan. Tiny, cramped, and unimpressive if you expect grandeur. It's the perfect metaphor. A little space with a giant shadow. 9. Times Square, from crime to Disneyfication. Today it's flashing lights and Elmo costumes, but in the 70s and 80s, Times Square was sketchy. Crime, adult theaters, and grit defined the place. The transformation into today's neon tourist trap is so extreme, old New Yorkers still shake their heads. 10. Statue of Liberty, a fashion glow-up. Lady Liberty was originally shiny copper when she arrived from France in 1886. Over time, oxidation turned her that iconic green. Basically, it's just a century-long patina makeover. Fun fact, she was almost gold-painted at one point, but thankfully someone stopped that idea. 11. Letchworth, the Grand Canyon of the East. New York has its own canyon, Letchworth State Park, towering cliffs, 3 massive waterfalls, and a gorge carved by glaciers. It's stunning, but overlooked by most tourists chasing Times Square selfies. 12. Yankees versus Mets, the eternal war. New York is home to 2 MLB teams, the Yankees and the Mets. And if you ask a local which team is better, prepare for a heated debate that could end friendships. It's more than sports, it's identity, Bronx pride versus Queens loyalty. 13. Central Park, a designed wilderness. At 843 acres, Central Park is bigger than the country of Monaco. Every pond, every rock, every tree placement was designed by architects. It feels natural, but it's art in disguise. Millions walk through every year, but very few realize they're strolling through one of the most carefully crafted green spaces in the world. 14th First U.S. Chess Tournament. Back in 1843, New York hosted the first American chess tournament. To this day, Union Square Park is filled with hustlers slamming chess pieces like their rent depends on it. 15. Buffalo wings, a spicy accident. A bar in Buffalo had leftover wings. The owner tossed them in butter and hot sauce. And just like that, buffalo wings were born. Now, every Super Bowl party owes its soul to Buffalo. Quick reminder, still watching. Hit that subscribe button, because clearly, you're one of us. 16. Broadway, the theater capital of the world. Broadway has 41 theaters with over 13,000 seats. Shows like The Lion King and Hamilton gross more than Hollywood films. On any given night, Broadway makes more money than some small cities do in a month. 17. The Catskills, birthplace of American art. The Catskills inspired the Hudson River School, America's first big art movement. Painters in the 1800s made the landscapes so famous that people traveled just to see them in person. Basically, they invented Instagram hype before cameras. 18. The New York accent, an endangered species. That iconic coffee and Fugetabudi accent? Linguists say it's disappearing among younger generations. The globalization of TV and internet is flattening it out. Future generations might never hear the classic New York sound outside of movies. 19. Niagara Falls was turned off once. In 1969, engineers stopped the American side of Niagara Falls completely. Why? To study erosion. Tourists literally walked across the dry riverbed. For a few months, the unstoppable force of nature just stopped. 20. Brooklyn alone is a city. With nearly 3 million residents, Brooklyn would be the 4th largest city in the US if it stood alone, bigger than Chicago, Houston, or Phoenix. Brooklyn doesn't need the rest of NYC to flex. 21st City Hall's abandoned subway gem. Beneath Manhattan, the City Hall subway station sits frozen in time. Elegant arches, skylights, chandeliers, like a palace underground. It closed in 1945, but train riders can still glimpse it when looping downtown. 22. The Adirondacks' 46 Peaks. Upstate New York is hiker heaven. There are 46 mountains over 4,000 feet tall, and climbers who summit them all earn the title of 46er. It's like a gamer achievement unlocked, but with way more blisters. 23rd, the first pizzeria in America. Lombardi's opened in Little Italy in 1905. Over a century later, New York still claims the crown as America's pizza capital. Chicago can argue, but let's be honest, no one folds deep dish. 24. Bronx Zoo, where the wild things are. At 265 acres and 10,000 animals, the Bronx Zoo is one of the largest in the world. New Yorkers can see gorillas, tigers, and bears, then hop on the subway for bagels. 25. The blizzard of 1888. This storm dumped 50 inches of snow in parts of the state. Trains froze, telegraph lines snapped, and people dug tunnels through the snow to get around. It was basically the original snowpocalypse. 26. The Empire State Building has its own zip code. So massive, so iconic, it needed its own postal code, 10118. That's when you know you're a legend. 27th, Finger Lakes, wine country. Upstate's Finger Lakes are not only stunning, but they've become a wine paradise with over 100 wineries. Some experts say they rival California wines, a bold claim, but worth sipping to find out. 28. 1,800 islands. Most people only know Manhattan and Staten Island, but New York actually has over 1,800 islands. Some are tiny specks, some have people living on them, and some are secret getaways no one talks about. 29. One World Trade, America's tallest building. At 1,776 feet, One World Trade Center isn't just tall, it's symbolic. The height matches the year America declared independence. It's both a skyscraper and a message. 30. New York was originally New Amsterdam. Before it was New York, it was New Amsterdam, settled by the Dutch. When the British took over, they named it after the Duke of York. Imagine saying, "I'm flying to New Amsterdam this weekend." Doesn't hit the same. And that's 30 jaw-dropping facts about New York. So tell me, is New York City the greatest place in the world or the most overrated? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll be reading. And don't forget, hit subscribe right now so you don't miss the next insane geography deep dive. Because if you think New York is wild, wait until you see what's next.